Pull over. Pull over.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I would like us all to remove our heads from our fourth point of contact for just a moment today and take a look outside of the world fool news networks to speak about Trump's Attorney General nominee. More specifically, I would like to speak about the anti-Second Amendment and unconstitutional views that this pig-faced federal dog holds so dear to his traitorous black heart. On Tuesday, William Barr sat before a Senate Judiciary Committee where he answered many different questions. And while your mainstream media would like to focus on the questions Feinstein, that troll we refer to as a senator, had for him, about the Mueller investigations, nor his stance on the legality of marijuana, I would like to direct our focus towards a much darker side of William Barr, whom I also feel is a troll on equal status with Feinstein. The Gun Owners of America article quoted him as saying, during his questioning, that he feels there's room for reasonable regulation on firearm laws. And, quote,
I also think we need to push along the ERPOs.
End quote. So the question begs to be asked, what does Barr feel reasonable regulation is? Well, if we look at his history, we will see that despite his lies to the current 2019 committee, Barr did in fact tell the 1991 committee he was in favor of a semi-automatic weapons ban, a magazine ban, and more intrusive background checks.
I would support both the Brady bill waiting period and the DeConcini amendment, provided they were parts of a broader and more comprehensive crime bill that included tough enforcement.
Now, we must not forget that all the while these laws were not applied to local and, can we just call them what they are and say, dirtbag federal law enforcement officials? But hey, in America, badges don't grant rights, right? Well, folks, today old Pigface, and of course by Pigface I mean Barr, his idea of reasonable regulation is so filthy, our founding fighters would have shot him standing. No judge, no jury, just lead. And as a matter of the fact, that's exactly what Barr would like to do to you and I. You see, Barr believes that by, and I quote again, pushing along ERPOs, we will be able to stop mass shootings. In his words, it is the single most important thing we can do. Really? Do these fucking trolls actually think we are all that stupid? I believe they do. For those of you who are in the dark, ERPO stands for Extreme Risk Protection Order. And according to a quote from the Brady Center, they give family and law enforcement an avenue to prevent an individual in crisis from harming themselves or others by temporarily removing firearms and prohibiting the purchase of another gun. Now, despite how rainbows and puppy dog tails a state makes this ludicrous and unconstitutional idea sound, the reality is they use a secret court, one where you, the accused, is not present, and one where you have no fair trial before a jury of your peers, and are guilty before proven innocent, to strip an individual of their Second Amendment rights, their right to private property, and to their right for search and seizure without warrant. So let's break this down real quick so we all understand. A family member or law enforcement officer offers a civil court proof of a history, pattern, or recent threats of acts of violence, dangerous behavior in the past, substance abuse, or recent firearms or ammunition purchases. The judge then issues a protective order, not a warrant. And finally, some Leo shows up at your door, steals your private property, specifically your guns, and if you fail to comply, they kill you. Now, let's not forget that in multiple cases of mass shootings and many other violent offenses where guns are not even involved, both local law enforcement and federal dogs have been contacted and yet still failed to do a damn thing to prevent it. Yet somehow these disconnected agents of government feel that these gun confiscation orders, carried out by the same people who failed to protect the citizens in the first place, will fix the problem. And Trump's AG nominee, William Barr, wants to push along this idea. Wasn't it Trump who stood up in 2017, the annual meeting of the NRA, and said, I quote,
"The 8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end."
This coming from the same bumbling idiot who in 2000 said, I generally oppose gun control, but I support the ban on assault weapons, and I support a slightly longer waiting period to purchase a gun.
Take the firearms first and then go to court.
Sounds like Donald Trump and William Barr are on the same page when it comes to gun control. But what do I know? You guys smell that? No, of course not. You're on the other side of this screen, but that's the smell of freedom. And by freedom, I mean coffee and expensive cigars mingling with the smell of wonderful leather-bound books and rich mahogany emanating from my office. So, my fellow Americans, as I close this broadcast, I ask each and every one of you to keep those trigger fingers itchy.